And Fury's never been in a stronger position fundamentally or had a bigger gap in where it should be trading fundamentally than it is today here in August, probably the quietest, most opportunistic month of the year. I think you'll see a massive turnaround from us, and you're going to hear a lot more results because there's 4 drills turning. The activity's constant.
When it comes to mining stocks, precious metals, and cryptos, you need to go to Mining Stock Wealth. And welcome, this is Kerry Lutz, and you are watching Mining Stock Wealth.
Welcome all. You're watching, listening to the show, and I'm here with Ivan Bebek, Chair, and CEO Mike Timmins for a sponsor update on Fury Gold Mines. Now, the news has been coming out fast and furious, pun intended, and as expected, yet more high-grade gold has been found. And to me, as a shareholder, Fury is the exemplar of why you invest in the junior mining sector. Now, look, initially, the market can seem indifferent to highly positive results. This happens often, but when the news starts flowing at a regular increased rate, the market inevitably catches on and great shareholder results inevitably follow. So when you're an investor in this sector, you need to be patient, because patience will always pay off. And Mike, Ivan, it's great to be back with you on the show. Mike, can you give us an update on what Fury is doing and the latest news out?
Great. Thank you, Kerry. We're happy to be here. We're about 9 months into the formation of the company. 4 rigs turning, 2 in Quebec, 2 in Nunavut. We've been very busy out of Clare, as you pointed out with the news. Continuing to drill the western extensions of the deposit. That's the Hinge zone and the West Limb area that we can expand on, as well as getting a rig back to the Snake Lake horizon that everyone knows well. We're about 35,000 meters into the first 50,000 meters at the program out of Clare, and it continues to impress with all the geological potential both near the current deposit and regionally, as we pointed out. We're also drilling up at Cambay in Nunavut. Due to travel restrictions, we really only had a small window this summer, and we chose to do a targeted 5,000-meter program on one of our best regional projects, which is Raven. It's a shear-hosted, high-grade gold target. Overall, though, I would say our strategy and approach really remain unchanged. We've built a solid team, advancing assets with strong geological potential with an aggressive exploration style, and it's the style, I think, that's really going to set us apart. All ahead of what we believe to be the next big bull run in gold, right? So despite where we're trading in the current mixed sector sentiment, everyone's well positioned for an exciting second half of the year.
And that's why I'm an investor. Ivan, the company, where it's heading, it's more or less going according to the plan that you laid out after the spin out.
Yes and no, Kerry. The share price is certainly not going where we planned, but neither has the gold sentiment, right? And I'd say that whenever you create a new company or spin out a company, there's always some work to be done. And we took over a company in the same equation, being Eastmain, at the transaction. What hasn't worked well for us so far has been the pace of drill results. And we've tried adding a second lab and tried to shorten the 70-day timeline or 60-day timeline for results. And it's been difficult. You get promised one thing, but the delivery has been slower. So the slow results have really hurt us in terms of our share price momentum performance, regardless of the gold market. And the one way to mitigate that is what Mike just touched on. And it's having more drills turning, because then you have more drills in the pipeline or results in the pipeline. I have some core behind me as a backdrop, because we've drilled some spectacular holes at the Limb extension, which is pending early September, as well as at Committee Bay. And Mike talked about Raven, which is, I've been at the Committee Bay 5 times, raised and spent $60 million up there looking for the big one. And I can say categorically, this is by far the best, program we've had up there. All those smaller, we've drilled 3 or 4 holes at Raven, and they look spectacular by opportunity. And what's exciting about them is they're on an 8-kilometer shear zone. And so if they give, we have something really big up there. But no, I've seen it a lot. I've seen back and forth on the belt. I've seen years where we had 4 drills turning up there, and we've drilled every kind of rock you could imagine. But this year it's different. And hopefully that different translates into the world-class discovery. And then on the corporate side, We've had a lot of cleanup to do of East Main. We've gone through a lot of that stuff that's boring for the share price, but fundamentally very important. And Fury's never been in a stronger position fundamentally or had a bigger gap in where it should be trading fundamentally than it is today here in August, probably the quietest, most opportunistic month of the year. I think you'll see a massive turnaround from us, and you're going to hear a lot more results because there's 4 drills turning. The activity's constant, and we get to go drill Percival later this fall, with a 3rd rig being added to Eau Claire. And so 5 rigs turning, or for 4 now and 3 later. I mean, this is going to become a factory of results coming out of these projects, but we might have it. We might have it at Committee Bay. We definitely got the answer at Eau Claire that we were looking for. Does it multiply? Does it get bigger? Based on Snake Lake, the Hinge, what you just saw, I'm sure we'll talk about today, it absolutely gets bigger. And that's what we feel right now. So I don't mind the share price on a daily basis. I'm not a trader. I'm an investor. And I'm looking for the fundamental macro bigger picture. And I feel at some point, as we can't explain the lack of performance now, we're not going to be able to justify the moves to the upside. And hopefully that's the near-term withdrawal results.
Yeah, well, it could well be the case. And so much of it hinges upon seasonality. We kind of reverted back to the prior pattern that we'd gotten away from the past couple of years, where metals prices would take off in the summer and then they would cool off. And then late 4th quarter, early 1st quarter, we'd see them go up again. So Mike, Hinge and West Limb, really important to this project, aren't they?
They are. This is Eau Claire West, right? So we were, previous owner suggested that Eau Claire didn't go to the west, and that's really what was the early focus of our exploration to the east, the down plunge and certainly Snake Lake. But that was a little strange to us given the structural setting that hosts the Eau Claire deposit. So we're drilling these targets to demonstrate that we can drag the current resource west, down dip, and around the fold nose at the Hinge area. And the initial drill results that we put out now are really starting to give us a sense of that's going to be successful. The Hinge, as you know, is always a favorable physical feature to trap fluids and concentrate gold. So it's nice to see that we got high grade there. So for us, it was binary. Is there high grade there or not? Do we have the presence of broader intersections there? Yes or no? And we were successful in both those counts. These are important areas because any ounces in these areas that we can bring into a resource are going to be high margin ounces, as they're within the current footprint and can be readily mineable. So it's better to find ounces closer than out in the field, because it takes much more to develop those, right? But from an exploration perspective, and for us, it's drill. This is a big win for us at Eau Claire West.
So, Ivan, for the second half of 2021, for Fury investors, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of news, especially if these labs ever catch up.
Yeah, labs are catching up, but I'm sitting here with you with losing a lot of sleep, is a term I like to use when we're really excited about what we're drilling. And honestly, it's tough. And we're so close to so much. I think when you look at Eau Claire specifically, you start to see, indications that you're into it. And eventually Eau Claire is going to give, we think it's going to give really big. And I think that comes to us this September onward. And so that's exciting. But then again, on Committee Bay, and to be able to say that results are pending from Committee Bay, it's been 2 years since we've drilled it up there. And the last time we went, we were really close, but that was the heart of Orin for years, was Committee Bay. And we're drilling it again. It's my favorite gold project globally because it can not just move the needle, it can break the needle to the upside if we get it right. And Kerry, we haven't seen any really substantial gold discoveries of consequence, very few in the last decade, and so I think we have a chance to get there. And we've all seen this before, soft markets, underperforming companies. We experienced it last year with Orin when we were down at $1 Canadian, and we went through that remarkable rally last summer when gold went to 2,200. I think that's just the start of what's going to happen to the gold market. And at the same time, I hear some people saying we're long in the tooth for the bull market. The exciting part of the bull market, where everything we say, every result we put out gets a reaction, that part hasn't started yet. You're still a bit early, but that's going to come in waves. I think this fall we may see lockdowns again. We may not, but I think there's more stimulus coming. And I think we're inching towards the kind of 2009 to 2011 market in gold, which will start here either sometime soon or next year, and everything's going to change. And then a company like this with 3 million ounces of high grade gold, assets, that are focal points like Committee Bay and and Eau Claire, it provides a lot of optionality for us to monetize different things and self-finance going forward if we sell some of the assets that are not core focuses, right? But it's been a fun ride, internally. The fundamentals have improved a lot. The team is growing. The team's hitting on all cylinders, and results are pending. So that's what we have to look forward to right now as investors.
Hey, and Mike, I had one question for you on Snake Lake. That was when I talked to you last time, that was pretty major news. Is there any further developments there?
We're going back drilling. Is the approach for us? Whether that's going to be one drill or two drills, it'll really just depend on assays at the West Limb when they come in. Taking you back, it's really straightforward to conduct step-out drilling along a deposit and its geometries, right? And people do that, and we do it, and you do it to add ounces, right? But the goal here, as Ivan said, is to multiply what's at Eau Claire. And the best way to do that is to find a secondary structure or another gold center with the grade and size potential to rival, Eau Claire proper. And that next big horizon, Kerry, is Snake Lake. So we're going back there. It has the scale, and it runs parallel to Eau Claire. So again, back drilling it now. And again, it'll be, will it get a second rig? I think it will. The other important point about, about looking along the deposit trend and out further than that is what's something that Ivan touched on, which is the Percival prospect, 14 clicks to the east, right? So it's past Snake Lake along the deformation zone going out. While Percival has 93 meters of 2 grams from surface in historical drilling, that points to really good open pit potential, but it's the 6 grams over 9 meters, 7 grams over 8 meters, shallow high grade gold over broader widths that gets me excited to drill. And so the next rig that comes after that will probably go to Percival.
That's a good summary, Mike, and I'm with you on that 100%. So under-drilled at Percival, underexplored, and we've redone all the data that we had to do work with, and the targeting that you're going to see this fall is outstanding, not just on Percival, but around the district kind of that floats with Eau Claire. But Snake Lake, Kerry, there's a half a meter of 95 grams, 6.5 grams over 1.5 meters, about a kilometer down plunge from that open pit kind of target on surface that's been drilled already. That's huge. We will double Eau Claire or more if Snake Lake gives. And so these are real chances to really, really change the game from how it's gone. And, the first approach with the two mics here was to go out and see where to put the money in the drills, where to buckle down. And we're starting to see that now in 3 places. And we plan to be aggressive as soon as we start to get the currency and those results out that are pending and add more drills.
All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good update for now. I think there's major things in the offing and not too distant future, and we're really looking forward to hearing from you both again. All right. So just go over to furygoldmines.com, sign up, get the latest notifications on what's happening with the drill results and all other news, and the tickers on the TSX New York Stock Exchange. It's Fury, Fury. Gentlemen, thanks so much. We'll talk to you again when you get the next release.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kerry.
Mining Stock Wealth.